turned into a 2-hit shutout in San Francisco. 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. That was last August. Here is Rowan, who is red hot. And Ricky's underway with a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Rowan's hit in 16 straight. 5 for 10 in this series.
Good job to throw that breaking ball for strikes. Now that he has 2 strikes, he might expand the zone. Great pitch. Great pitch. The target set up inside. Bake wants the fastball there. It's right there, and they did not get the call.
Breaking ball fouled. Brian O'Nora is behind home plate with Fielding Kulbrecht, Gary Cederstrom, and Jim Wolf on the bases.
Yeah, that complete game shutout, the only complete game, the only shutout in Ricky's career.
Two and two. Velasco's numbers 2 and 5 with an ERA over 9. Rowan cracks one down the right field line. That's trouble. Into the corner it goes. 17 consecutive games now for Aaron Rowan.
Well, you look back at that at bat, and certainly Ricky has to put it out of his mind, but it all goes back to that pitch that he thought, and I think a lot of people thought he had Rowan struck out on. Good fastball in. Now he leaves a fastball up and out over the plate, and when a guy's as hot as Rowan is, he usually hits it.
Edgar Renteria now.
One of the best at moving a runner from base to base, either with a bunt or sending a ground ball the other way.
And with Tim Lincecum on the mound for the Giants, you know they're going to try to scratch out an early run. Oh and 1. Renteria, of course, a Marlin and a good one. An all-star in '98 as a Fish. Spent 6 years in St. Louis, a year in Boston, 2 in Atlanta. Giants signed him to a 2-year, $18.5 million contract, which surprised some people coming off his .270 season last year with the Tigers.
Well, it's interesting. He's a veteran and certainly an older shortstop in the league, but younger than the shortstop they had the last couple of years, in Omar Vizquel, who went on to Texas.
In fact, the Giants on their roster have 3 guys who are everyday shortstops in the big leagues. I mean, Bruce Bochy can choose certainly from Renteria or Juan Uribe or Rich Aurelia.
And Uribe and Aurelia have made themselves very versatile players now.
2-1. Hanley has it. Rowan is still at second.
Good job and a good pitch by Ricky to keep Renteria from staying back and hitting the ball the other way. He had him out in front of that breaking ball. So Renteria, good location too on that slider. And that's about the only thing Renteria could do as Hanley completes the play.
Here is Randy Wynn. Wynn, the Giants right fielder. 2 for 7 in this series. And always a tough out. Not a guy that strikes out easily.
Talk about a guy who's been consistent. Last year, Randy Wynn hit .306, had 64 RBIs, played 155 games. The year before, 365 RBIs, 155 games.
Good curveball there by Nolasco, and it's 0-2.
Something Ricky does, he'll use a couple of different speeds with that curveball. One has that real sharp bite, one's a little slower.
Leadoff double by Aaron Rowand. Turned it over.
Like a little change up, turned it over, had good movement, and really fooled the veteran hitter. Randy Wynn doesn't get fooled that badly too often. That's a nice pitch.
Well, this might be the true test for Nolasco. Marlin killer Benji Molina. Three hits in this series. Goes after the fastball. It's chopped to third. And after the leadoff double, that's a nice comeback and a nice return by Ricky Nolasco. Scoreless.
Marlins Baseball está disponible en español vía SAP y es presentado por KFC.
And it's a Kid Sunday as well. For our lineup, we go down to our kid reporter, Brendan Brundage.
Thanks, Rich. Leading off today in left field, we have Coughlin. At third base today, we have Bonifacio. At shortstop, we have Ramirez. Starting at first base, we have Glode. At second base, we have Ugla. In right field, we have Harina. Starting in center field, we have Ross. Behind the dish, we have Baker. And first start back pitching tonight, we have Nolasco. Back to you guys.
All right, Brendan, nicely done. Kid reporter, kid starter for the Giants. At least he looks that way. He is 24, Tim Lincecum. And he'll turn 25 in a week.
Yeah, that's amazing. He's 24, which is young in itself, but he even looks younger. But don't let the kid looks fool you. This guy has some outstanding stuff.
He's missed a couple times inside. He's mid-90s. Good fastball. Has a nice sharp breaking ball. And has started to use his changeup a little bit more this year.
And as you watch his delivery, obviously a lot easier to watch from your comfortable seat where you are at home compared to at home plate. But he tucks, he hides the ball, he turns, lifts the leg. Very hard to pick up the ball as he delivers it to the plate.
It's a delivery that he and his father crafted when he was just a youngster. His father, a Boeing employee up in Seattle. They worked countless hours on his mechanics, on his delivery. And he walks Chris Coughlin. Not many walks this year. That's just his 22nd. This is his 12th start.
Yeah, to go along with 91 strikeouts. He's actually pitched better on the road this year. ERA is below 3 on the road.
This is a spot where you think Bonifacio might be dropping down a bunt?
Yeah, you look at the game, and as you said, when the Giants got the leadoff double, it's more than likely going to be a low-scoring game. So you want to try to score early if you have that opportunity.
Well, Bonifacio let a strike get by. It's 0-1. Not bunting, and it's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And as a lot of power pitchers, sometimes it takes an inning to adjust. So if you have that opportunity to put a run up on the board, you try to take it.
Lincecum has one of the biggest strides in baseball. Even though he's 5'11", when he drops and drives, he has a huge stride.
There were many scouts and teams that stayed away from him because they felt he was an arm injury about to happen. But as you said, Rich, he's done this delivery, worked on it with his dad. He's had the same delivery since he was a kid. I remember seeing a report on him, and it showed video of him pitching in Little League. He looked exactly the same. Actually, so did his face.
He went to the University of Washington, and he was one of the best pitchers in Pac-10 history. In fact, he still has the strikeout record in the Pac-10, and that's a conference that has produced some great pitchers, or Randy Johnson and Tom Seaver.
Golden Spikes Award winner in 2006 as the best college player.
Renton, Washington is where he grew up. He went to Liberty High School, and he showed up for baseball tryouts and made the team as a freshman. He was 4'11", and he weighed 85 pounds. Runner goes out towards second. Burris. Can you imagine that? 4'11", 85 pounds as a high school pitcher?
Amazing. And with that delivery. Take a look at the defense behind Lincecum. The Giants set up this way. Lewis, Rowan, and Wynn. Good speed in that outfield. Good coverage. Uribe, Renteria, Emmanuel Burris, Pablo Sandoval, the first baseman, and Benji Molina behind the plate.
So Hanley Ramirez gets his first look at Lincecum. A little pop-up. Wynn makes the catch.
And because of Lincecum's size, you know, as a youngster and as a kid in high school and college, and hearing scouts probably telling me he was too small, he also has that little bit of extra inside that makes him the successful pitcher he is. First time fishing, first time against the Marlins, electric stuff, and that nasty 12-6 power curve.
Ross glowed, giving Jorge Cantu a night off. Looking to start at first base. A couple of pinch hitting appearances in this series. Coughlin's out at second. Marlins and Giants just underway.
Missing with the curveball. Not real sharp yet is Lincecum here in the first inning.
Globe gets a fastball and lifts it in the air to left. Fred Lewis is out there tonight, and he makes the catch. Both pitchers strand a runner in the first. Here had to wait through an hour and 35-minute rain delay. Don't lean back too far. Pablo Sandoval, Fred Lewis, and Juan Uribe. For the Giants, Sandoval hit the big home run on Friday night. And he takes down low from Nolasco. We told you about Sandoval, just 22, out of Venezuela. A free swinger. Almost Vladimir Guerrero-like.
Yeah, and a free swinger from both sides of the plate. He's a switch hitter.
And he gets into that one to right field. Hermida is there and makes the catch. So Ricky, after giving up the leadoff double to Rowan, has 4 consecutive outs. Up comes Fred Lewis. You can become a Marlins season ticket holder in 2009. Enjoy the best rewards and benefits in the majors. Enjoy great savings by choosing from a variety of plans that start at just $85. 1-877-MARLINS.
I think that was a nice confidence boost for Ricky in the first inning after he gave up the leadoff double. Made some really nice pitches to Renteria, Wynn, and Molina.
Lewis, who gets the start in the left. And it count 1-1. Of course, last year 15-8. An earned run average of 3.5.
Last year, Ricky's last 21 starts, he went 10-4 and had a 2.83 ERA.
And I think if there was a general blanket statement that would summarize his 2009 starts, would be that he maybe got a little too cute or a little bit too finesse with the breaking stuff.
Yeah, and look what he does right here. Here's the fastball right there. Strike 3. Didn't waste any time and put Fred Lewis away.
Nothing cute about that. No finesse about that. And that's what he was last year. He was a guy last year, Tommy, that could throw any pitch, any time for a strike.
I think early this year he'd get in trouble because he got behind, and then he couldn't spot that fastball. The fastball was more hittable. But he has good life, and he did even when he wasn't hitting his spots. It was never a question as to the velocity of his fastball.
That breaking ball's hit hard and foul. Juan Uribe.
Now that's a breaking ball he's going to want to try to miss a little more with. He had him 0-2, but Uribe got a breaking ball that he could handle. This is the opportunity to try to expand it a little further, and this was a good pitch to hit. Just a little bit off the plate, but up. And not a good pitch for Ricky, but he got away with it. Uribe fouled it.
Uribe, the former White Sox.
That's better.
Marlins happy with the effort last night by Andrew Miller. Solid start, almost a perfect start. It was 4 innings.
See if Ricky goes upstairs with heat now. Oh, he did, but out over the plate.
Hermida's on the scene, and a brief second inning for Nolasco. Last night, Andrew Miller was outstanding in a start. Miller got going before it got raining. And as we told you, a perfect start for Andrew Miller through 4. A lot of quick outs. Then when the weather turned bad, Miller finished strong. As Tommy noted, Bert Badenhop then came in, and the Hopper pitched his 2 innings of scoreless relief. Dan Uggla stands in with Jeremy Hermida and Cody Ross against Tim Lincecum. Uggla takes a fastball for a strike. Uggla's numbers have jumped. He had an RBI double last night.
Yeah, his production numbers are still real good. He chases that curveball there. The other thing that Lincecum has done, he's been durable. He's been consistent. He's had 9 straight starts this year of 6 or more innings.
Asked Jim Presley about the scouting report and what Lincecum was like, because the Marlins have not faced him. And one of the first things out of Presley's mouth was Iron Mike, the old pitching machine that used to come right over the top.
That's a good example. Iron Mike didn't have the curveball, though.
Or the shaggy hair.
Iron Mike could bring it. Didn't have that nasty 12-6 curve.
3-2. That's outside. Uggla draws a walk. You know, Dan Uggla, 8th in the National League in walks.
That's one thing he's done really well this year, better than in the years past. That's his 35th walk of the year.
And you know, Uggla's got that look on his face going, man, that's nasty.
Guy's got good stuff.
I had no chance.
He might also have that look that tells you he's going to catch up to one of those fastballs too.
You can watch all the video you want if you're a guy like Uggla or Jeremy Hermida, but there's nothing that can simulate facing a guy like Lincecum.
Right now he's leaving a lot of pitches up. Most of the time he's missed with that fastball. It's been out of the strike zone up.
If you're online tonight and you want to read the definitive article on Tim Lincecum, SportsIllustrated.com, and just go back in their files. Tom Verducci wrote a comprehensive and great article last year about Lincecum, his father, the delivery, all of the things that makes him unique. And a lot of the things that we're talking about came from that article. His father, among other things, had different drills. One of them was pick up the dollar. His father used to put a dollar down on the mound so that when he finished his delivery, his hand would come down and pick up the dollar. There's a pop-up. Uribe is there. His stride is, as we told you, long, and it's much longer than most major leaguers. In fact, his landing area is a little bit further than Nolasco, who's a much bigger man.
Yeah, his landing area in his stride is that of a guy about 6'5". Now he's picking up a lot of dollars in his salary, too.
Cody Ross takes a knee-high fastball. Lincecum has only allowed 2 home runs all year.
Not too often do you see Cody Ross take 2 fastballs in a row for strikes. And that goes back to the difficulty of picking up Lincecum's delivery.
Finally got a breaking ball. Still 0-2. He was taken 10th overall by the Giants in the 2006 draft. So there were a variety of teams that missed on him or chose not to draft him, as Tommy noted, because of his mechanics. Luke Hochevar was picked first by Kansas City. Greg Reynolds was in the minor leagues, taken by Colorado. The 3rd pick was Evan Longoria, Tampa Bay. Even his hometown team didn't pick him. The Seattle Mariners picked Brandon Morrow, a relief pitcher out of Cal. Andrew Miller was taken 6th overall by Detroit. Clayton Kershaw, 7th overall by Los Angeles.
Pretty good pitchers in that draft that you mentioned.
The Marlins had the 19th overall pick in that draft, and they chose Brent Sinkbile out of Missouri State. Down goes Cody.
Trying to get, you usually see pitchers do that when it's cold. He's trying to get the hands dry. There's that changeup you talked about, because it appears the humidity is affecting him somewhat. And you see him keep blowing on his hands. That's not because it's cold, it's because there's a lot of moisture and he wants to get rid of that moisture.
Baker slices one down the left field line, and it's a foul ball.
Generally in April, when we're up in the Northeast, we'll see pitchers doing this. But he's trying to just dry the hands off. Get a little less moisture so he can get a better grip.
Now, if he goes any closer to his mouth while
he can't touch it.
Yeah, that would be a balk. Boy, that fastball just explodes.
At movement, too. Everything he throws. Was talking to Giants TV analyst Mike Krukow. Been there a long time, a tremendous Major League pitcher. And Kruk said 2 seamers. Everything he throws, the fastball is always 2 seams, so he always gets good movement, even if he goes upstairs with it.
Baker drives it to center. Rowan is there, and he makes the catch. Marlins leave another. 2 well-pitched innings by Mr. Lincecum and Nolasco. Center in Los Angeles. Sun Sports bringing you post-game coverage of the NBA Finals. David Steele, Matt Gukas will be there with live player interviews, post-game press conference, and in-depth analysis. That's tonight, immediately following Game 2. So far, so good for Ricky Nolasco. He gave up a leadoff double to Aaron Rowan. He'll get Emmanuel Burris, Tim Lincecum, and then Rowan again. Burris takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, you know, you think about it last night, the way Andrew Miller threw. If Ricky continues on and gets back to that pace that he was on last year.
It's a fair ball.
Nice play by Ross Glode.
And a great play by Glode.
Nice when you lay out over the bag. You don't have to go far to get the out. But good reactions by Glode getting the start tonight, giving Jorge Cantu the night off.
Our Prestige Audi moments brought to you by Prestige Audi.
Step and a dive right there on the bag to get the out.
Just 2 minutes south of Aventura Mall, 1877 My Audi today.
But all of a sudden you throw Andrew Miller in, Ricky Nolasco, combine that with Chris Volstad and Josh Johnson, things are looking a little bit better.
Lincecum takes a breaking ball and it's 1-1.
And then those guys, if they can take it deeper into games, then that just helps the bullpen.
One and two. Lincecum is an incredible athlete. He apparently can do a standing backflip, walk on his hands. Very flexible.
And that's a key to his delivery. A lot of pitchers don't have the flexibility that he has, and I know in that article you were talking about mentions a lot about his flexibility.
You have to think that in drafts that followed, 07, 08, and even the draft next week, Lincecum, for all the teams that not only missed on him, other teams that didn't have him on their board or would not have taken them, you have to think that maybe there are a few scouts that have changed their mind a bit, or maybe are a little more open to a smaller pitcher, a guy with that type of delivery.
You would think, but probably not.
So the first time through, Ricky gets 3 strikeouts.
Hey, the thing Ricky's done so well in the ball game so far, 8 of 9 first pitch strikes. And there's a good fastball that's by Lincecum. He only had 1 3-ball count. That was something he did so well in that first outing he pitched in AAA. Kept the pitch count down, didn't go deep into counts, and only had a couple of 3-ball counts. This guy's just hitting everything.
Rowan has 2 more hits, 7 in the series. He's hit in 17 straight.
Yeah, that's a career high. Every time he gets another hit, he extends a career high hitting streak. And then that time he took care of the breaking ball from Ricky. When you get locked in, you get locked in, and everything looks perfect to hit, and the breaking ball. And the other thing, when you're locked in, it seems like pitchers make more mistakes to you. And he got a mistake pitch.
Renteria in the air. Ross comes in. Cody is there. He has had a great week out in center field. Made a tremendous play last night. Scoreless. Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida, brought to you by Marooney. Hey, South Florida, when you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? 1-877-Marooney. By Checkers, Little Place, Big Taste. By Corona, official sponsor of the Timeout. By Headquarter Toyota, where you'll feel like you bought from the factory. And by Prestige Audi, just 2 minutes south on Aventura Mall, 1-866-7-MY-AUDI. Tonight, after an hour-and-a-half rain delay, the Marlins and Giants are finally playing. It's bottom of the third. And this is hardly fair for a guy like Nolasco to face Lincecum. Ricky, not a bad hitting pitcher.
Yeah, has 3 hits so far this year.
Then top of the order with Coghlan and Bonifacio. You know, watching Lincecum pitch, the commercial, and if you're a baseball fan, you've seen it 100 times probably, where he has his video game likeness following him around, and the delivery on the commercial, and the delivery that Lincecum has. You're watching him now, and the thing that pops into my mind is the video game guy, not the real guy. He walks Nolasco. Now, see, that must be the video game guy, because the real Lincecum would not walk the pitcher.
Would not walk, and that's one little tip-off that he's not perfect on his game. Here he is. He hasn't given up a base hit, but he's walked 3, and he only has the 1 strikeout. So he's still not in the groove that he'd like to get in out there, and especially walking Ricky to lead the inning off.
All right, if the Marlins thought about bunting Bonifacio in the first inning, do they think about bunting Coghlan here?
Nah. Let him hit and line one down the left field line.
Unfortunately, Fred Lewis is in the way, and he makes the catch.
You know, the 3 walks for Lincecum, that's a season high. That's just a little indication that he's not exactly on his game. 40 pitches so far. But you hear the term, and that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about that video game. You hear the term a pitcher has to repeat the delivery to be consistent, and he's able to do that.
Part of his story sounds a lot like Chris Volstad's saga, in that Volstad's father videotaped a lot of his early starts when he was just a kid, including his lessons with Jim Palmer.
And for a guy 6'8", he has an ability to repeat his delivery.
And that, I think, is probably the biggest challenge that a guy like Andrew Miller has faced, especially this offseason after he changed his delivery.
And it's always a little harder for that pitcher who's tall, a guy over 6'5".
Jim Wolf says strike 3.
There's that curveball. Did he go? Yeah, he got it out there a little too quick. Speaking of Chris Volstad, Chris will be pitching the Wednesday game, the middle game of that series against the Cardinals, against big right-hander Adam Wainwright. And a great matchup Tuesday night against the Cardinals, Josh Johnson and Chris Carpenter. And not a bad one tomorrow night. Unofficially, we've been told that Randy Johnson is going to pitch. And Randy Johnson will go up against another big left-hander, Sean West. What a thrill that'll be for Sean West.
Hanley fouls a pitch back.
So a lot of people were speculating who would pitch that Monday game for the Giants. And Randy Johnson, who won his 300th game the other night against Washington, will come back on 3 days rest and help their staff. It's a pretty good rotation right now, and he'll go ahead and take the ball.
Oh, 0-2 to Hanley. wonder if there's a stat kept for a number of check swing strikes, because I'll bet you Lincecum is at the top of that list.
Probably gets a lot of them, yeah.
Ball in the dirt, and it kicks away from Molina, and Velasco moves up.
Talking about that long stride, here's a good look. Way out there, the balance.
Two. Hanley was on that one.
Yeah, you know, you have to try to take every opportunity. You don't get many chances against Lincecum. And with 2 out, Hanley up there, who has hit incredibly well with runners in scoring position. 395.
That is another wild pitch.
Well, Lincecum came into the game. He had thrown 2 wild pitches all year, and he's thrown 2 here in this inning.
Dave Righetti, pitching coach for the Giants. Three and 2 to Hanley. Velasco's at third. And he went after ball 4. So Lincecum strikes out Hanley, and we're on to the 4th. Frank Fort, what do you got for us?
All right, thanks, Rich. We're out in section 127. It is National Cancer Survivor Day. Michelle Burke, a nurse at Miami Children's Hospital, is here, and you brought out a bunch of patients, former patients. The Marlins Community Foundation provided you with tickets. This is something you do every year on June the 7th.
That's correct. We're celebrating National Cancer Survivors Day, and what better way to do it with our patients and their families. We have about 65 different families here today celebrating National Cancer Survivors Day at a Marlins game. It's wonderful.
And I understand the Marlins and the hospital got together and held a 50-50 raffle. You raised some money for the Cancer Center at Miami Children's.
That's correct. We raised the most money ever at a Marlins game, and we're really excited about that.
What are some of the improvements you're looking to make at the hospital?
We're actually looking to start a teen lounge on our cancer unit and renovate the entire unit. Get some added benefits, a lot of extras.
And I understand there's a couple of kids here, and you said that they are finished with their treatments, which is always good news.
Absolutely. We have quite a few kids who are finished with treatments, and some like this one who is almost finished. Many survivors in front of me, to the side, all around. So it's a really exciting day.
All right, we hope all of you enjoy the ball game, and congratulations on the great work you do at Miami Children's Hospital.
Thank you very much.
All right, Michelle Burke from Miami Children's Hospital. Rich?
Good stuff, Frank. Hermida picks that one off the wall. Randy Wynn, a leadoff double in the fourth.
Well, Ricky worked around a leadoff double in the first inning, and he's going to have to do it again. Randy Wynn with his 18th double of the year. Got the fastball in a little bit. Will be our checkers double of the game. And Randy Wynn can still turn on that good fastball in that area. He'll be 35 in a couple of days.
He's had a very nice career. So here's Molina. He bounced to third in the first. Benji Molina with 8 home runs, 32 RBIs. The Giants don't have a lot of pop. There's a shot over the head of Bonifacio. Coughlin will pick it up, and Molina, who always seems to hit the Marlins, has his 4th hit of the series. Giants would love to add another big bat in their lineup, or a big bat in their lineup. When Benji Molina is your biggest power threat, that speaks to the Giants and their lack of offense, their lack of home runs.
Well, the other thing it does, too, when you have your catcher as your cleanup hitter. Now, the days that he doesn't play, they have to kind of, Bruce Bochy has to kind of mix and match and put someone else in that cleanup spot.
Sandoval nearly turns himself around with that swing.
Sandoval, one of those guys that's hitting the cleanup spot. He sits six times in that spot.
Sandoval, the minor league player of the year last year, just had an unbelievable season in climbing from Double-A to, actually from Single-A to Double-A to the big leagues. And he squirts that one inside the bag. Remember, that's Molina running. Coughlin picks it up. And Molina carefully picks his way to third. But the Giants have gone double, single, double to open up the fourth.
The thing about a guy like Sandoval, when you have a 2-strike count on him and you're ahead, you've got to be off the plate. This was a good pitch. It gets a lot of hitters out. But a guy like Sandoval, he likes anything that's close. So you have to miss by even more to a hitter like him. And for him, that was a little too hittable. And he made Ricky Nolasco pay. Does he have fun or what?
That's the international sign for oxygen mask, I think. There's Molina. I think he needs a little oxygen as well, along with Sandoval. Let's bring in the Duck, shall we?
Affleck!
The Duck tonight, Giants' most consecutive saves. Rod Beck, Rob Nen, Brian Wilson.
You know Brian Wilson, their current closer. Marlins fans certainly know Rob Nen. And we were talking a little bit the other night about Rod Beck.
Brian Wilson's pretty good. Fred Lewis, middle infield's back. Ugla is going to come home with it. Baker catch and tag. Heads up play.
Boy, that's a great play because the infield was back, and because of that, Molina took off. But he does not run well at all. Dan Ugla knew that, and he got the ball in a hurry, and he made a good throw to the plate, and Baker blocked off Molina. There's the throw right there. Look at how Baker slides the knee in, blocks Molina off the plate. That's a heads-up play because you have to know the situation in the base runner to make that play.
Now runners at the corners with one out. It's Juan Uribe. He is the nephew of a former Giant, Jose Uribe. Wasn't Jose Uribe the player to be named later? Literally?
He could have been.
He moved from one team to the next and changed his last name. One and oh. Yes, he was the player to be named later. He was Jose Gonzalez, but his name is actually Jose Altagracia Gonzalez Uribe.
So he literally became the player to be named later. This is where Ricky would like to get a double play ball or B, a strikeout to keep the runners at the corners, not allow another run to score in this inning.
One ball, one strike.
He's also trying to keep his eye on Fred Lewis to make sure he doesn't get a big lead and a big jump.
Uribe's uncle apparently changed his name or went by Uribe because, in his word, there were too many Gonzaleses in baseball at that time. Runner goes, and the ball kicks loose. Runner's coming home. Throw to the plate. They got him! They got him!
Oh, what a couple of terrific defensive plays the Marlins have pulled off in this inning. First, Dan Ugla. Next, a combination of Ricky Nolasco and John Baker. On the pitch, with the runner going from first, it gets away from Baker. Hustles after it as he's moving toward the dugout, makes a perfect throw to Ricky, who's covering the plate, and puts the tag on Sandoval. Oh, that's nice. And those are huge pick-me-ups for any pitcher. And a good job by Ricky to hang right in there and get the tag down.
So the Giants have two men thrown out at the plate here in the fourth.
Lewis is credited with a stolen base, getting to second base.
What Nolasco gets out of this, and the Marlins come back and win this game, this will be the point of the ball game in focus for sure. Full count, 2 outs. Lewis still out at second. Did he go? No.
We're trying to get Uribe to chase it. Borderline, probably held back. And that's the first walk tonight for Ricky Nolasco.
Here is Burris now. Manuel Burris bounced out back in the third. Giants had the first run of the ball game, but the Marlins have thrown 2 Giants out at the plate in this inning. Slow chopper, Ugla, just in time. Wow. And by that narrowest of margins, Ricky Nolasco gives up just the 1 run. 2 plays at the plate. Baker on the receiving and the giving in. Top. Fish Friday on the 19th, a big Fish Friday. The Yankees are here at 7:10. Grab a CBS 4 for 54 pack and play Billy Bingo for your chance to win a Chris Bolstad autographed baseball. Don't miss the Marlins and Yankees. 1-877 Marlins. Second time through for all these hitters now against Tim Lincecum. Ross Glode, then Dan Ugla, then Jeremy Hermida.
Well, he's walked 3, but the Marlins still looking for their first base hit.
Glode pulls one down the line. And it's foul.
Not many hitters. We talked about Lincecum making his first ever appearance against the Marlins. Bonifacio had seen him 4 at bats, and coming into the game, Glode was 1 for 2 against him.
Two and 1. There's a solid line drive base hit left field. First hit against the Giants starter. Aflac Duck brings by the answer to the Aflac trivia question.
Aflac!
I'll go with the.
How about Rob Nett? Rod Beck.
1994.
Rob Nen, the all-time Giants leader in saves with 206. And Rod Beck right behind him, 199. Remember Greg Minton, Gary Lavelle,
The Moon Man,
Randy Moffett?
Billie Jean King's brother.
Yes. Four innings in a row. Marlins have gotten the leadoff man on base. The three previous innings via the walk, and now the base hit. So they've made Lincecum work in this game.
Another fastball to Ugla. 1-2.
Be alive on the bases. Keep in mind a couple of wild pitches from Lincecum last inning.
Two and two to Ugla. Ugla got a fastball. He lines it into left center field. Lewis goes back, reaches up, and makes the catch.
Boy, it helps to have speed. It almost sounded like he hit that ball a little on the end of the bat, though. It didn't get perfect wood, didn't square up on it. Maybe a little bit on the end. And Lewis, with his speed, is able to catch up with it. A lot of left fielders don't catch up to that ball. Lincecum happy he was out there.
Lewis has got center field speed out in left. So does Wynn in right. In fact, Wynn in right and Lewis in left are probably faster than Rowand in center.
Oh yeah, they're all capable to play center field, which you need that type of outfield in San Francisco.
Got an out there. And the Giants turn to Burris to Renteria to Sandoval. 1-0 Giants.
Béisbol está disponible en español vía SAP y es presentado por KFC.
Raul and Cookie join us now.
Anotar carreras y pronto.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Rich, Tommy, how you doing?
Richie, how are you?
Hey, good, Cookie. I know you like that play of Dan Uglas at second base. Heads-up play, wasn't it?
No question about it. You know, he's done very well. I think we played very good defensively so far, you know, in the middle there. So that's a good sign to see.
Y le conecta lineazo al izquierdo.
Tim
de hit
Lincecum.
para Tim Lincecum. Va dando la vuelta por primera base y el pitcher con un doble.
A double for Lincecum. Guys, how would you describe Lincecum
El séptimo doble.
in Spanish for us?
Tim Lincecum, el loco. Aaron Rowand, ahora el bateador. ¿Y ahora qué están haciendo aquí? Le pasa el guante de batear.
Guys, you still have us?
Hey, there you go. I
Yeah.
didn't hear
Tommy.
that last part, Rich.
We lost you for a while. How would you describe Tim Lincecum in Espanol? We're trying to expand our vocabulary.
Eléctrico. How about that? Eléctrico.
Electrical.
Nice.
Yeah, he's special, man. It's amazing what he brings to the table.
He's fun to watch. All right, guys, have a good show.
You too, fellas.
See, we've got our word for the night.
The electrical. Hey, by the way, third time the Giants have had a leadoff double in this game. One time they capitalized last inning.
Rowan has doubled. He's singled. You get the sense that if Ricky were to pull a Super Ball out of his glove, one of those real tiny bouncing balls, and throw it towards the plate.
Rowan had hit it hard somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
They go back to May 9th. He's hit close to 400. Well over 400 during his 17-game hitting streak. And he had been, coming into this game, he had been 0 for 6 against Ricky Nolasco. He'd seen Ricky a little bit when he was with the Phillies.
Ground ball third. Bonifacio airmails it. Safe at first. And an error on Emilio Bonifacio.
Well, so many good plays tonight, and then an error on Bonifacio, and that's number 11 for him this year. Way too many. Doesn't get on top. A good effort by Gload, who catches, tries to come down on the bag, but Rowan was already by him at that time. Or was he? Very close. But the high throw by Bonifacio, not a good. There's an out right there. Would have been one out, man on second base. And all of a sudden, Ricky has to reach back and work even more.
Let's see how the Giants play this now with Renteria, who handles the bat so well. He pops the bunt up. That's a gift. An absolute gift.
Not many times in his long career has Edgar Renteria done that. Trying to take the bunt up the third base line, advance the runners, and you're right, on one pitch, a gift. Wrap it up, and there it is.
So there's one out. Here's Randy Wynn. He has struck out and doubled. They're still playing in San Diego in the 13th inning. 6-6. Padres and Diamondbacks.
Yeah, on this Sunday of baseball, just about everything else complete, except for the night game in Los Angeles, the Phillies and the Dodgers.
The Braves came from behind to beat Milwaukee 8-7. Chipper Jones had a couple of home runs.
Boy, he had a big day.
Ryan Braun hit 2. That was Tommy Hansen's debut for the Braves, he gave up 6 runs.
Yeah, for a while he had the lead. He couldn't hang on to the lead.
Livan Hernandez and the Mets shut out the Nationals 7-0.
Here's a situation that, yes, we'll tell you what the pitch count is, 65 for Ricky, but he's had to work every inning. A lot of base runners. He had a 1-2-3 second inning. But these are pitches that are stressful type pitches.
(3-1). Danger. Warning. A Molina on deck. And Ricky's going to face him with the bags loaded.
Well, there's a couple of ways to look at it. You're looking at Molina, the cleanup hitter, terrific hitter with runners in scoring position. Last year, 95 RBIs for San Francisco. But the other way you look at it, if he hits anything on the ground, you have a good chance to turn a double play and get out of the inning.
In fact, as a middle infielder, you could tag the bag at second and almost run the ball to first. And it was that lack of speed that helped the Marlins in the 4th with both Molina and Sandoval.
He's upset. He just missed a pitch that he would like to have back. And quickly that brings Mark Wiley out to the mound. Yeah, last year, Molina hit .316 with runners in scoring position.
Both Molina and Sandoval thrown out at the plate in the 4th. Giants back at it here in the 5th. They've loaded them up with just 1 out. Benji Molina, big year last year against the Fish. And he hits a fly ball to left field. Ross with Lincecum tagging and scoring.
Well, it was just deep enough, and Lincecum young enough that he still has pretty good wheels for a pitcher, and he was able to score on this sac fly. Slider away. Cody takes charge. Better mechanics, better arm out there to try to make the play at the plate, but it just never was going to happen. It was deep enough.
So another out to get here with runners first and second, and that's Sandoval.
So Molina with both RBIs for the Giants tonight. Sandoval almost swung at that.
He's a Vladimir Guerrero type guy, in that he can hit just about anything you throw up there. Kung Fu Panda, his teammates have nicknamed him. And that's, I think, not only for his build, but his abilities. He can throw right-handed or left-handed. He's a switch hitter.
And he can flat out hit. Over 500 games in his minor league career, he hit .308. Nice changeup.
One and two. Ricky Nolasco's return to the big leagues. He's given up 6 hits and 2 runs. Popped him up, shallow right. Hermida in. Makes the catch. Inning over. Giants get a run. Add to their lead. It's 2-0. Our kid reporter, Brendan Brundage, when we get back. The Marlins. Brendan Brundage is our kid reporter for the day on A Kid Sunday. How are you, Brendan?
Doing good. How are you?
Now, where have you been this whole game? What have you been up to?
I've been sitting down there with my family. Sitting there. I was did the pregame show in the dugout.
That's right. And you did the lineups, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard you do the lineups. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, well, sit in with us here. Cody Ross is up. And Cody takes a strike. The Marlins are down 2-0. Ross will be followed this inning by John Baker and Ricky Nolasco against Tim Lincecum. Is there anybody in the what league? You're in the Coral Springs Little League, is that right?
No, I play travel.
Oh, you're on the wow.
Hey, he plays travel, and you're going up to Cooperstown, right?
Yes, we're going up.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Will you get to go through the museum, the Hall of Fame museum?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We're bringing the camera up there from FSN to the tour up there.
Oh, so that's why they're breaking you in here, so that we can use you as a reporter in Cooperstown.
Yes.
Nice.
Who's going to be with you to help you with the camera and film and do all that?
Well, my dad's going to be there.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
I'm going to give you a name, give you a nice little inside when you get to Cooperstown. Ask for Jeff Idelson. He's a nice man. He's the president up there.
Wow.
And he will help you get some stuff done. I'm telling you. I'm going to write that name down.
Yeah, if you need dinner reservations or anything like that, Idelson will hook you up. Here's
Do you
John
know anybody
Baker.
in the Hall of Fame?
I have been up there a couple of times, yeah. It's just tremendous. If you like baseball, you have to go to the Hall of Fame.
Some of Tommy's teammates are in the Hall of Fame.
Is any of your stuff in the Hall of Fame?
The only thing that got there from me was a scorebook of a writer, and it had a game that had a good game in it. So that scorebook's there.
Here's the 0-1.
What do you think of this pitcher, Tim Lincecum? He's pretty good.
Yeah, he won the Cy Young last year. It's pretty good.
And he's not much taller than you.
Yeah. I think he's only 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that when he played high school baseball as a freshman, he was 4'11", 85 pounds? Yeah.
You're taller than that, right?
Yeah, I'm about 5'2".
Yeah, can you throw in the high 80s? That's what he did when he was a freshman.
No, I don't think I can throw that hard.
Now, you said you like to play shortstop, right?
Yeah.
So what shortstops do you like to watch in the majors?
Well, Hanley's one of them, of course. He's one of the best. Derek Jeter, I've always looked up to him. And those are about it. Miguel Escobar.
Well, those are three pretty good guys.
Yeah.
And pretty good shortstops.
Yeah.
Baker rolls one out to second. Should we put him to work, Hut?
Yeah, put him to work. Come
all
on,
right,
Brendan.
I'm gonna leave this one up to you. All right, go ahead.
You want to be here when your Marlins take on Albert Pujols and the St. Louis Cardinals Tuesday, June 9th through Thursday the 11th. Look into the Tuesday's Miami Herald for the two for two Tuesday coupon and don't miss the 12:10 matinee on Thursday. Call 1-877 Marlins or visit marlins.com. Marlins Baseball, it's where you want to be.
All right, good job.
Way to go.
That'll be a good series, too, against the Cardinals.
See, now, and when you're done here, make sure you fill out an invoice because now you get paid.
I would hold out for a shirt, too. Try to get an FS Florida shirt.
Try to get one of those.
I'm sure we can arrange that. Here's Nolasco facing Lincecum. What's the name of your travel team?
Coral Springs Panthers.
Are they watching? Are they watching this game?
Right now, I think they're in a game.
Oh, they have it. You missed the game, huh?
Yeah, tournament.
Wow.
Well, this is pretty special. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you are going to go to Cooperstown with them, right?
Yeah, we're leaving this Friday, and we're going to stay there from June 12th to June 19th.
Who's playing short while you're here?
Probably Zach Cohn.
Oh, okay.
You got to have a backup. You got to have a backup.
Lincecum throws a strike to Nolasco. Ricky walked back in the third. So is this the end of your day? Are you going anywhere else after this?
No, I'm probably just going to go home.
Okay. Well, we look forward to your reports from Cooperstown.
Yeah, we're going to have reports after every game, daily reports.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, good luck. Good luck in the tournament. And
Thank
we
you.
look for your work and a fine job tonight.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right.
Hey,
Brendan
good luck, Brendan.
Brundage, our kid reporter, doing a great job. It's on sale. Register your non-winning tickets now through the 11th of June for a second chance to win great prizes that include a 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible, an ultimate Florida baseball weekend getaway, or a $100 gas card. Ricky Nolasco sends a curveball up there to Fred Lewis with Juan Uribe and Emmanuel Burris to follow.
All right, let's try to break down what we think we've seen in Ricky tonight, and I think we've seen a better pitcher. He still has made some mistakes, though.
Hermida cuts it off. Lewis never broke stride, and he's got himself a double.
Well, another leadoff double, 4 of them tonight for the Giants, and we talked about Fred Lewis's speed when he was out there in left field. He takes care of the breaking ball, gets right down on it with a good swing. And even though it's cut off by Jeremy Hermida, Lewis's speed got him to second base quickly.
The Giants are near the bottom of their order. This is Uribe, and then Burris, and then Lincecum.
I think Ricky's made some good pitches with his fastball, in and out. A couple of pitches been up, out over the. He made a few mistakes, and it seems like when he's made the mistakes, the Giants have gotten the hits instead of popping the ball up. But compared to his last 2 starts, his last start against Tampa Bay, 2 innings, 8 hit, 8 runs. The start before against Milwaukee, in Milwaukee, 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 8 runs.
Our Toyota trend, career against the West, 9-3, and of course that one start against the Giants, the best start of his career. Good pitch there. Hermida charging, and a dive. He doesn't have it. The ball underneath him. Lewis is coming all the way home, and he's safe. Baker's going to tag him. Here comes Freddie.
A lot of times that umpire won't make a call if he thinks he didn't touch the plate, but home plate umpire Brian Onora signaled safe. So that tells you that he thought he touched the plate. It took a while for Hermida to find it. Once he did, it was too late to the plate. And it looked like he caught the corner. It's a great slide by Fred Lewis.
Yes.
Well, a bloop off the bat of Uribe.
Here's the definitive look.
Yeah, he's all over it. Got dust on it.
Yep. So he gets the corner.
Yeah, it's going to be a double. And then an error on the throw. It's a tough error. I guess you have to account for Uribe getting to third.
Yeah, but he can go to third.
He can go on the throw. It doesn't have to be an error.
There's no error in that.
Yeah, there shouldn't be an error there.
Be aware of a squeeze. Glode gets the out.
Now you have to think about it again, the squeeze, with Lincecum coming up.
Number 55, pitcher Jeremy Lincecum.
I'm not sure who you give the error to.
Yeah, there really is no error. Many times a runner will advance on the throw, and that's basically what Uribe did. You could see the trouble that Hermida had when he made the dive for the ball. He wasn't sure where it was. Now they've changed it. No error, advance on the throw.
Again, be aware of a squeeze.
Because Lincecum has shown that he can handle the bat. He doubled his last time up.
Pitchers have to know the signs too, although the sign they're usually looking for is the bunt sign. I'll bet if you asked all the pitchers in the National League what the hit and run sign is, what the steal sign is, it'd be some blank stares. But they know bunt.
Know the ones that you might get.
The take.
I always thought one of the best ways to learn signs, to get signs, was to just anticipate and know the situation. So if you knew you might get a hit and run, you would pick up the sign easier.
Tim Flannery, the third base coach, longtime Padre. Where Ricky trying to finish off Lincecum. A red-hot Rowand is on deck. And that's probably why Bruce Bochy is figuring, you know what, just let Lincecum do what he wants to do. He'd like to give Rowand a shot with a runner at third. And he's going to get that shot.
Number 33, center fielder.
Fourth strikeout for Ricky Nolasco. He's given up the 3 runs. 2 have been earned. That run back in the 5th inning was an unearned run.
Christian Martinez. Two pitches off the plate to Rowand, who is 2 for 3. And of course, as we told you, has a 17-game hitting streak.
Three fastballs he's missed with. I think he might not even mind if he walks him, because he's actually handled Renteria pretty well tonight. Even though we know what kind of a clutch hitter Renteria is.
So Ricky erring on the side of caution. Mark Wiley wants to find out what is going through the mind of his young starter.
It's almost like he didn't want to throw Rowand a strike. He missed with all 4 fastballs outside.
I wouldn't throw him a strike.
Yeah, like I said, he's handled Renteria much better than Rowand. Pitch count at 90. Mark trying to find out, not doing a whole lot of talking. Don Baker doing some talking. We'll find out how he feels, and probably letting him know, you know what, give everything you have right here to Renteria. This is going to be your last hitter. It's probably going to be his last inning.
Velasco now
Number 6.
will try to get Renteria. That misses inside. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. You can see the numbers. Renteria has always been known for that in his career. And of course, he had one of the biggest hits in Marlins history, the game winner in Game 7. The irony of that last sequence, his game winner came against the Cleveland Indians. The pitching coach for the Cleveland Indians, Mark Wiley.
Edgar had a solid year. We remember him so much for that base hit, but he led the Marlins in hits in '97. Scored 90 runs. And hit 290 in the World Series. He had an overall good World Series, too.
That was off of Charles Nagy. And that was your first year with the club, right?
My first year here, broadcasting Marlins baseball. Pretty exciting season.
With Rowan running, it's 1-2. In that '97 season, the Marlins bounced the Giants out of the postseason. And of course, did the same in 2003.
Dusty Baker Giants.
Yeah, the Giants, leading into Bruce Bochy's tenure, had just 3 managers in 22 years. Felipe Alou, Dusty Baker, and Roger Craig. Rowan, Ricky's got him picked off. Give it to an infielder, let Ugla do it, and Ugla tags him out.
Good job. Good job all around. And when we come back after this inning, we'll break that play down because that could be a problem. And the Marlins made that play well.
Coors Light 6th inning. Coors Light freeze can. Watch this play by Ross Globe. Freeze it. Right on the bag. That was the Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze can. All right, Tommy, let's break this play down.
Well, when you're the pitcher and you see that runner get caught with a runner at third, Ricky did the right thing. So the first thing you do, you run at the runner. You go at him. You don't throw the ball right away. You go at the runner. You keep looking at the runner at third. Now you give it to an infielder. Dan Uggla checks Uribe, and then once Dan gets close enough, he puts the tag on the runner, Aaron Rowan. The runner at third, he's kind of going back and forth. If somebody takes his eye off, he may take off. Now, if he takes off, you have your eye on him, you can go to the plate. But if you're close enough to the runner at first, you put the tag on him, the inning's over.
I'm surprised Uribe didn't break sooner, because as a runner, don't you want, if it's 2 outs, you want the defensive team to have to make a throw to get the out at the plate.
Yeah, the ideal thing you'd like to do if you're the runner is break when the first baseman has it, especially if he's a left-handed thrower, because his back's to the plate. It's a little harder for him to turn to make that throw to the plate. A little easier for Dan Uggla.
Top of the order against Lincecum here in the 6th. The Marlins have had very little success against this brilliant right-hander. Lincecum in Cy Young form tonight. Just one hit, a Ross Globe single. Third time through for Coughlin. He sends a flare out to left. That's Fred Lewis.
We were talking a couple of innings ago, between innings, with the matchups looking ahead at who the Marlins will be playing. In a 6-game span, the Marlins will see Lincecum. They'll see Chris Carpenter, who's been unbelievable for St. Louis. And then tentatively, it looks like Roy Halladay will pitch Friday in Toronto, and Halladay pitched another complete game, a shutout today against Kansas City.
Bonifacio's bunt, Molina. That is a Gold Glove play by a 2-time Gold Glove winning catcher.
He may not be quick on the bases, but he is quick like a cat to bounce on this ball. Here's the attempt. Not a bad bunt, but here comes Molina. Bare hand, turn, perfect throw. And a couple of quick outs for Lincecum. Last inning was a quick inning for him. That's why his pitch count's in pretty good shape right now. The Marlins haven't had a lot of opportunities. They've only had 3 runners in scoring position. They're 0 for 3. The Giants, on the other hand, they have a 3-0 lead, but they're only 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, but many more opportunities.
Remember, the Giants have had a couple guys thrown out at the plate, too. Big moment in that 3rd inning with a runner at third and 2 outs. Lincecum struck out Hanley. And he's got 1 and 2 on him now. So right now a 1-hit shutout going. Into center. Rowan. Lincecum is through 6 with his shutout intact. innings without a run and just one hit. There it is. That's the Dan Ugla bank that was given away before tonight's ball game. Here's Edgar Renteria, who was at the plate when Ricky Nolasco picked off Aaron Rowan to finish off the 6th. So it's Renteria, it's Wynn, it's Molina, and Nolasco's back out for the 7th inning. His pitch count approaching 100. Number 96, Dan Ugla on to first. That'll be a quick out for Ricky. His 11th quick out of the ball game. Super Saturday, the next one, the 20th, featuring a post-game concert with internationally known salsa star Tito Nieves, following a fireworks spectacular. All presented by Metro PCS. See the Marlins take on the Yankees at 7:10. And a Marlin cowbell will be given away as well. So you get cowbells.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
You get Tito Nieves, not related to former Giant second baseman Tito Fuentes, who was one of the more colorful players.
And does Spanish radio for the Giants.
He used to come to the plate and tap his bat and flip it back.
Well, he had all the moves.
Yes, he did. Was he? Now, you have always told me how colorful and flashy Willie Montañez was.
Mm-hmm.
How did he compare to Tito Fuentes?
Oh, they were right there together. And Tito was a little before Willie.
Were they ever teammates?
I was thinking of that as soon as we were talking about it. Willie got there in '75. I'm not sure if Tito was still there then, but we could check.
Those 75 Giants, I think, were led by Frank Robinson. Or was Robinson the manager of the Indians at that point? Win. We're going to have to go to the guide for that one. Hermida looking up will make the catch. While we look that up, Frank.
We'll have to check on that. You know, guys, I wanted to talk about Ricky being back, and hopefully if he can come back close to what he was last year, it would stabilize the rotation, because the Marlins have used 10 different starters this year. That's tied for most in the majors with the Angels and the Blue Jays. They've also used 23 pitchers this year. Now, granted, that includes an inning each from Ross Glode and Cody Ross, but they used 22 pitchers all of last season, so that sort of underlines the issues they've had with injuries and performance. By the way, in case you were wondering, the club record for pitchers used in a season, 30 back in 2007. That included only one position player, Jason Wood. So already 23 pitchers used this year by the Fish. Rich?
Tommy and I remember every one of those pitchers in '07. Look out. Benji Molina with another hit. I mean, it throws his bat up there and hits appear magically.
Yeah, he came in to this series with a lifetime average against the Marlins of .410. And last year alone against the Marlins, he hit over .500. So that's his third hit tonight, or his second hit, but he has 2 RBIs, one coming on a sac fly.
Here comes Sandoval. The 76 Giants were managed by Bill Rigney. Then Joe Altobelli was there. Davey Bristol for a season and a half. Then Frank Robinson in 1981. Roger Craig had a long run. So did Dusty Baker.
Roger had them all throwing the splitter.
Hum baby. Sandoval hits a pop-up. That's into the seats. Of course, the Giants have never won in San Francisco. They've never won a World Series. Alvin Dark was their manager in '62 when they lost to the Yankees. And I can remember the grainy footage of Willie McCovey lining out to Bobby Richardson. off of Nolasco. Hanley will have to eat it. And that's a base hit for Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah, ball clipped Ricky, got a piece of it. He's okay. But that could have been dangerous. That right hand, that pitching hand was up.
Here comes Mark Wiley. You know what I didn't realize about that 62 series, just in studying for this series? I remember McCovey lining out, and he just hit an absolute rocket to the second baseman. It was a 1-0 game. I didn't realize that the Giants had runners at second and third in 2 outs in that 9th inning. So if that line drive is another 6 inches to a foot up, Giants win the series.
Win the whole thing. By the way, Molina's lifetime against the Marlins now is .411. And he's .460 at this ballpark, in this ballpark. It's incredible. So you get a guy like him who hits your club well. You get another guy like Rowan who's on fire against everybody right now. 17-game hitting streak. You get Sandoval who swings at everything and gets base hits. Not an easy lineup.
Left center, pretty well hit. Coughlin is there, and he makes the catch. So Ricky Nolasco, in his return to the big leagues, goes 7 innings. But Trey for AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Well, it's you see the hits. There were some blue base hits, some balls that were hit that were off the plate, but all in all, I think a pretty solid job by Ricky tonight. Gave up the 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 unearned, and a marked improvement from what we saw early in the year and the struggles that Ricky had, I think. And that's good news.
The bad news is standing out on the mound. And you look at Tim Lincecum's line.
And the Marlins with just the base hit by Ross Glode in the 4th inning. And he hasn't had the strikeouts going, just 4 strikeouts. So he hasn't been the dominating Cy Young Award winner that he was last year, but he's made pitches. See some of the strikeouts here that he's put together. And he's done it with a few different pitches. Good fastball there to get Cody Ross. Last year, before the All-Star break, Lincecum was 11-2 with a 2.57 ERA, and of course, he was a National League All-Star.
Second San Francisco Giant to win a Cy Young. The first.
It's a good question. Mike McCormick.
Yeah, there you go.
Left-hander.
Yep.
And amazingly enough, Juan Marichal, the greatest pitcher ever to never win a Cy Young, because he had that guy Koufax down in L.A.
Globe pulls one, and Sandoval steps on the bag. Did Drysdale win one?
No, I don't think he might have won one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Trying to find a list of one-hitters or no-hitters in Giants history. I know John the Count Montefusco threw a no-hitter. I suspect there's a variety of Giants that have thrown one-hitters. Maybe a Vita Blue.
I think Ed Halicki, perhaps.
That one's foul back. Frank, can you help us?
I don't know if I have an answer, Rich, but I do know this. John the Count Montefusco, do you know what he did after baseball?
He went into the restaurant business.
Not only that, he became a harness racing driver. Yeah, I actually covered a race he did up at Pompano Park.
Really?
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. Harness racing drivers, they don't have to be diminutive like jockeys?
No, they do not.
Evidently not.
Yeah, because he was not a small guy. But, I mean, he wasn't, in the Sandoval weight class. But
yeah, that would be a real drag. So
yeah, that's one of the things he did after baseball. It was really interesting.
Randy Wynn makes the catch. See, that's why we have Frank here.
11 in a row retired by Lincecum since that base hit by Ross Gload in the fourth inning. Saw a note on Lincecum with his 265 strikeouts last year. For the most part, he pitched as a 24-year-old, and he had the most strikeouts per 9 innings during his 24th year. The only other guy with more, Kerry Wood, in his 24th year, had a little bit more. And a little difference in size in those two.
It'd be fascinating to watch his career and how it progresses.
You still have the naysayers who will say, well, he's 5'11", he's 100, he'll break down.
Do you think those same naysayers said that about a Roy Oswalt?
Yeah.
Or a Jake Peavy? I mean,
Peavy's a little bigger than Oswalt, but hey, a Ron Guidry, go back a few decades. Four walks, that's a season high for Lincecum.
So here's Cody. He has gone down swinging. He has gone down looking.
He's not picking him up because a couple of times now he's taking fastballs 2 in a row for strikes.
This was the catch last night.
Yeah, we've seen him make diving plays over the last 3-4 days. How about in the triangle going away from home plate and putting it away just before he ran into that padded wall.
High fly ball, right field win. And Tim Lincecum with a one-hit shutout through 7. $250,000 Mustang money tickets are on sale. Register your non-winning tickets now through June 11th for a second chance to win great prizes that include a 2010 Ford Mustang V6 convertible, an Ultimate Florida Baseball Weekend getaway, or $100 gas cards.
Well, we're looking at a Cy Young Award winner. Last year, Lincecum with his 18-5 record, 2.62 ERA, and we were talking about other Cy Young winners. And yes, Don Drysdale in 62. He had that big year. That was his one. I mean, he had many big years, but 25 games he won in 1962.
Christian Martinez takes over from here.
So making his third appearance as a Marlin in the major leagues.
He gets Wanya Uribe to lead it off. Emmanuel Burris, and then Lincecum's spot. Lincecum has thrown 100 pitches. A little pop-up. That's another bloop hit.
That's the second one. Uribe had that bloop double in the sixth inning.
Look, he almost hurt himself rounding first. By the way, no hitters by Giants finally found it. In San Francisco, Mike McCormick. It was a 5-inning no-hitter. Sam Jones had a 7-inning no-hitter. Marichal, Gaylord Perry, Ed Halicki, and the count, John Monefusco.
See, I told you. Ed Halicki. Who was Halicki's against, does it say?
The Mets. Burris. And Lincecum is on deck. That one gets by Baker.
see how that's ruled. It might be a wild pitch, but Bake's really upset at himself that he didn't make that play. It is a wild pitch.
It's going to bring Coughlin in. And that'll bring Lincecum up.
You know, I know we talked about it before the Giants even got here, and it's one of the things. I don't know if they'll catch the Dodgers, most likely not, but it's one of the things that is going to make them a tough opponent for whoever they play because of who they send out there on the mound. With Matt Cain, with Zito, who's throwing a lot better. Sanchez didn't throw all that well, but he's got pretty good stuff. Randy Johnson. And, of course, Lincecum.
Roller to short. Two outs. And Aaron Rowan coming up.
Number 33.
So they don't have that big bopper. They're not going to, go toe-to-toe with teams that have a lot of power, but they can equalize that power with who they send out on the mound.
Boy, but what if Brian Sabian can acquire a bat?
And he just might.
If the Giants are willing to part with one of those starters, more than likely a Sanchez.
Yeah, it isn't going to be a Cain or a Lincecum, that's for sure.
Two and 0. Ricky Nolasco pitched to Aaron Rowan like Aaron Rowan was kryptonite. He in the sixth, and Rowan had 2 hits off him already. Ricky threw 4 fastballs, and none of them were near the plate. That one was near Rowan.
And all of a sudden, Martinez cannot find the plate to Rowan.
There is Uribe. From what we've seen, and this is the 3rd game of a 4-game series, the Giants are pretty good out of getting the most out of what they have in their lineup. They move runners over, they get them in.
Well, they have a number of veterans. One of the reasons they're able to do that, guys like Wynn and Rowan, Uribe, when Aurelia plays.
Long run for Hermida, and he's there to make the catch. Martinez works the scoreless 8th. Marlins go back out there against Lincecum.
Marlins trail 10 Lincecum and the Giants 3-0. Lincecum with a one-hitter. Frank Fort, Rich Waltz, and Tommy Hutton with us. Be sure to stay tuned for Marlins Live postgame tonight. But tomorrow on Marlins Live pregame show at 6:30 over on Sun Sports, we're going to have an interview on our Fish Farm minor league report with Mike Stanton, one of the Marlins' top prospects, just promoted this week from Jupiter to Jacksonville. We were able to speak to Mike before that promotion, and I know a lot of people are very interested in the progress of this 19-year-old California outfielder. That's tomorrow, Marlins Live 6:30 on Sun Sports. You will hear from Mike Stanton. Rich?
Hey, Frank, nice shirt. Where'd you get it?
That's from the Marlins, the Marlin fan club. We're all wearing it tonight. Marlins fan club. This is one of the free tickets that they get for being a part of the Marlins fan club. So we have a lot of the Marlins fan club folks in the ballpark tonight. And you can go on FloridaMarlins.com or call 1-877-MARLINS if you want to join the Florida Marlins fan club. Has about 8,000 members, guys.
And they get a shirt just like you. That's a base hit, a rare one, just the second of the ball game. John Baker singles to center, and the Marlins try to put something together against Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, we want to thank the Marlins fan club for our nice shirts tonight.
Clothing provided by. Here's Daza now. Alejandro with Coughlin on deck.
Well, Lincecum had just 2 complete games last year. 1 shutout.
Giants bullpen is in motion. Romo, Affeldt. Brian Sanchez. Alejandro De Aza in the 8th. Fish down by 3.
Kind of a late call by Brian O'Nor, the home plate umpire.
A low strike. That's outside, and the count's 3-2. Wasn't going to let that pitch get by again.
No, if it's a strike before, you've got to protect with 2 strikes.
In the air, left field. Lewis was playing very shallow. He actually has to go back to get that.
Kind of interesting. Lincecum's last complete game, we told you he has 2. His last complete game was against Arizona, and it was against Randy Johnson.
Well, at this point, the Marlins are going to see Randy Johnson tomorrow. At least that's the word. He is penciled in.
The newest 300-game winner.
Coughlin jumps on one, drives it to right field, hits it deep. Wynn goes back to the wall. Gone! 2-run shot, 1-run game. Second homer of his career, just the 3rd that Lincecum has given up this year.
Boy, that's a nice swing from your leadoff hitter, Chris Coughlin. Took care of a mistake pitch from Lincecum. High fastball. He's seen him before, and he was aggressive that time. First pitch, fastball, jumped on it, and hit it a long way. And all of a sudden, here comes Bruce Bochy, and that's going to be it for Lincecum.
So the skipper of the Giants wants the baseball. It's a one-run game, one out in the eighth. Armaruti calls to the bullpen.
When you need a car, truck or van, who you gonna call? Armaruti!
Essentially knocks Tim Lincecum out of the ball game.
Well, you got to give Chris Coughlin a lot of credit. He's a young player. He's getting his introduction to the big leagues, as you see the numbers on Romo. But he's getting an introduction playing a new position and batting in a position he's never batted in before.
So there's one out. Bonifacio trying to get on base now against Romo, who misses outside.
Yeah, the Marlins saw Romo the other night, a couple of innings, and they were good ones. He gave up just one base hit.
Drive to left center. Rowand is there. He makes the catch. Time now for the stay in the game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Marlin leaders, Leo Nunez with 10. Just as middle relievers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color. Oh for 3 is Hanley.
Well, that long ball can get you back in a game in a hurry, can it? One-run game.
Been a hot week for Hanley. And a 1-1 pitch, a 1-1 count. That last pitch, the breaking ball. Romo, part of a Giants bullpen, is pretty good. Marlins bullpen.
Yeah, Romo spent some time on the disabled list, just recently activated as part of that solid Giants bullpen.
He has Leo Nunez type stuff. Lincecum looks like he came from Seattle. I mean, you throw a flannel shirt on him and
part of the grunge experience.
Absolutely.
Up there.
That's where I'm headed. A little Nirvana, a little Pearl Jam. Here's the 1-2. Got him. Romo. A breaking ball strikes out Hanley to the 9th. 1-run game thanks to Chris Coughlin. Last night it was the Marlins trying to protect the lead, and Matt Lindstrom came in and struggled and couldn't close it. And so Freddie came and got the ball. Leo Nunez finished the ball game. Even though Nunez gave up that hit, he got that strikeout. The obvious questions after the game to Freddie were, who is your closer? And our Geico quote of the night: if we get an opportunity to close a ball game, he'll get the opportunity. We're developing Lindstrom as our closer. You have to give him an opportunity. Kiko Calero with a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Calero takes over for Christian Martinez.
Yeah, I think had the score remained 3-0, we saw Brian Sanchez warming up. But once the 2-run home run was hit by Chris Coughlin, made it a 1-run game, Freddie called down for Kiko to get ready.
Speaking of Bryans, Brian Wilson had an adventure-filled save on Friday night in which he walked the bases loaded. Here is the 2-2. Kiko gets a punch out.
There aren't many National League hitters that have hit that slider so far this year from Kiko Calero.
I'm telling you, Tommy, if his numbers continue through June, he deserves some consideration for the National League All-Star team.
Think about it. Coming into this appearance, right-handers are hitting 156 against him. He has been just tremendous.
I know middle relievers rarely make All-Star teams, but they do.
And continues to lead the major leagues in appearances.
Randy Wynn now.
Now you say all this, you never know. Charlie Manuel, he's not listening. He's out in L.A. They just started. They have a night game tonight. I'm going to say Charlie Manuel, who helps put together the pitching staff for the National League.
We'll put in a good word.
How about the Diamondbacks and Padres? They're in the 17th inning in San Diego in a 6-6 tie. Look at that.
Is Aaron Harang pitching? Remember Harang last year in San Diego with Cincinnati? Got stuck on his throw day, having to throw 4 innings.
He ran out of pitchers.
Yeah, he did. Ball is smoked and foul. The tagline to that is that the Padres scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th to tie it.
Ouch.
Kiko wants a new baseball.
Well, we'll have a giant matchup tomorrow. Randy Johnson and Sean West.
Count full now at 3-2.
I mean, it's amazing. It's a strange game, and there's a big left-hander. The Giants have a 1-run lead, yet they've out-hit the Marlins 11-3. The Giants are 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position, and the Marlins 0 for 3.
Down he goes. 2 strikeouts. And remember, the Marlins have thrown 2 Giants out at the plate.
38 strikeouts now for Kiko Calero in 28 2/3 innings. That time he got the fastball by Randy Wynn.
I don't know if anybody can get anything by Benji Molina. They're going to get him out. Marlins need a run. Brian Wilson's coming in. Bottom of the ninth, the Giants and the Marlins. Brian Wilson, who on Friday night had a rough ride but brought home the save. He's blown 3 of them this year. He will face Ross Glode, then Dan Ugla, and then Jeremy Hermida. Andres Torres is in left field.
Double switch by Bruce Bochy. Yeah, Brian Wilson tied for 4th in the league with those 14 saves. The leader in the National League, Heath Bell, the San Diego Padres, with 16.
Glode had one of the few hits against Tim Lincecum. And he's got a base hit here. Win over to cut it off. And the Marlins have the tying run on base.
Well, that's a nice swing by Ross Glode to get things started here in the bottom of the 9th inning. He jumped on that fastball. Good quickness in that bat. He's a solid player.
Here is Ugla. Wow. Just missed. He's missed with 2 breaking balls, and it's 2-0.
The one thing we saw Friday night, the inconsistency that Wilson had in the strike zone. You mentioned he had the bases loaded. He walked 3 in that inning.
He has given up just 2 home runs this year. It's 3-0. Well, he walked him loaded on Friday night. And remember, Cantu bounced out to end the ball game. That one just made it.
Well, he had that outing. He saved the 300th win for Randy Johnson, but 33, 34 pitches in his 2 innings. And that was Thursday.
At the knees. Ugla started towards first.
Pretty good pitch.
But a pretty good bet. Ugg's going to get a fastball.
And he'll have a good swing.
There was the fastball, and there was the good swing.
Yep, fouled it straight back. Caught a piece of Molina's mask.
There's Glode.
Just a protected swing right there. It's a borderline pitch. You don't want to take a called 3rd strike.
Another 3-2 coming. Rowand, first out of the 9th inning.
Just pulled off that fastball a little. He got another fastball, but that front side didn't quite stay in all the way to drive it into right center.
Now Jeremy Hermida.
Here's the pitch. It is the fastball. See that front side just a little bit off of it. You hear hitters say that they weren't on the ball, and Uggs just wasn't on that one.
Oh for 2 night for Hermida. Brian Wilson trying to save his second game in this series. Hermida hits it center field, hits it pretty well. Rowand back, makes the catch.
Well hit too by Jeremy Hermida. Unfortunately, think about all the blue base hits we've seen the Giants get in this one. That ball hit well, but chased down by Rowand.
So it's Cody now. He is 0 for 3.
Yeah, Cody's 0 for his last 11 right now.
He did not face Wilson on Friday. Got a fastball up. You can see him asking Brian O'Nora that very question. Ground ball up the middle. Renteria safe at first.
Now it stays alive for John Baker. Good effort by Edgar Renteria, but just couldn't complete the spin move in play and get Cody Ross, who gets the infield base hit. Wilson can't get it. Renteria has it, but just couldn't get enough on the throw. So the inning stays alive, and it's a left-handed against right-handed matchup. Baker against Wilson.
Marlins are going to pinch run for Glode. Brett Carroll. John Baker now. Baker's lined out, singled and bounced out. Wes Helms is on deck. Slider for a strike.
Good fastball there by Brian Wilson.
Tying run. Winning run. But there are 2 outs. And Baker is in an 0-2 hole. Coming. Got him. Struck him out on a rising fastball. And Brian Wilson gets his second save of the series. The Giants have taken 2 of the first 3 on a night where Tim Lincecum was untouchable for most of the night. A night where Ricky Nolasco came back and pitched